Wow, what a race it has been. This is the next gen car's first time hitting a mile and a half intermediate track, which is Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and the racing here was pretty good, but most importantly, my boy Alex Bowman won this race! Hey guys, NASCAR Mobile 48 back again. Welcome back to another episode of NRR. And in today's video, we're going to be reviewing the 2022 Pennzoil 400 from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And yes, my boy Alex Bowman pulls it off. He gets the win here today. And we have a few other notable finishers in the top 10. Also some who did good, who finished outside the top 10. And also some that did bad, who finished outside the top 10. So before we go ahead and dive on into this video, we're going to be taking a look at our top 10 finishers. We're going to rate the race. After that, we're going to look at drivers who had a good and bad race. We don't really have the biggest story of the race because we didn't have like a huge significant thing happen like in the Daytona 500 or in last week's race at Auto Club and stuff. And then once we're done with that, that will be the outro. So let's go ahead and dive on into this video. Finishing first was my boy Alex Bowman in the 48. What a race for Alex Bowman. In my personal opinion, I thought he had the best car or the best Hendrick car all day because this race for Hendrick Motorsports overall reminded me of the Dover race where they finished 1, 2, 3, 4, and you could tell who had the better car. Like, of course, you had Elliott and Byron linking about, and then you had Larson who was the best, but then you realize Bowman's actually the fast one. That's what I saw in this race. Larson and Bowman were the two top Hendrick cars today. Byron and Elliott were there, but it was like Elliott was probably the worst Hendrick car today, but what a race for Alex Bowman. Started 13th in this race, able to get the win, his 7th career win, and only his 2nd win on a mile and a half, and yeah, this is the first time he's won on a mile and a half since Chicagoland. And last time he won on a mile and a half, Chicagoland, we didn't race it anymore. So Las Vegas, get ready to get bulldozed pretty soon. But what a good comeback for Alex Bowman. Because not only that, he had to fight through some adversity. He had a penalty on pit road for equipment interference after the Briscoe and Cindric caution. So that was kind of concerning. But they were able to fight their way back. Because that happened, late in stage 2. And so they were able to fight their way back to get a nice, solid top 5. Yeah, they got the win! So yeah, what a great race for my boy Alex Bowman. But another thing that I really want to point out is what Kyle Busch said after the race. So when I talk about what Kyle Busch said on the radio after Bowman won, a strategy planned by him and Hendrick Motorsports, him, Larson, and Byron all took 2 tires, while Truex, Kyle Busch, and Chastain all took 4 tires, and 2 worked out better than 4 for some reason, so that was really good. But what Kyle Busch said to Bowman winning, he said, the same effing guy who backs into every effing win that he ever effing gets backs into another effing win. BS. So my reaction to that for Kyle Busch is that I know Kyle Busch is upset and stuff because he had to fight through a whole lot of adversity this weekend, and he almost had that win in his grasp, but that Eric Jones caution changed everything. So really, what Kyle Busch says, do I think he's right? He's not completely wrong, but he's mostly not right, because if we go through all of Bowman's 7 wins, if we go to Chicagoland, he had a really fast car. He beat Kyle Larson in that race. So no, I don't think he backed into that one. The one at Auto Club, Bowman dominated. I don't think he backed into that one. When he won at Richmond, I don't think he backed into that one because he had a really good race. Heck, it was just like this race. Bowman had a really fast car, and he had a penalty, and he overcame from that and was able to steal the win from Hamlin and Logano. So I don't think he backed into that. When Bowman won at Dover, he didn't back into that. He was the best Hendrick car just like he was today. And now, if we go to the Pocono one, I'll admit, yes, Bowman kind of did back into that one because he had some luck with Larson blowing the tire in the final corner. But then also got to think Bowman had a good strategy plan and stuff towards the end of that race. So I would say Bowman kind of backed into that one. The Martinsville one, no, Bowman was really good all day, but he did have to wreck Hamlin for the win, so kind of backed into it. But this race he didn't. So Kyle Busch is kind of right, but he's mostly wrong because most of Bowman's wins he did not back into the win and stuff. But for Kyle Busch, he did back into the wall in practice and didn't even get the win at the end of the day. So Kyle Busch is just salty. But anyway, great day for Alex Bowman, the 48 team. So freaking happy. Let's go! Finishing runner-up was Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson, after getting the win at Auto Club last weekend, after having to put his teammate into the wall, finishes second to Alex Bowman. I don't know what this is. It's like, for Hendrick Motorsports, it's like if you have Kyle Larson versus Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson is going to win. But if you have Kyle Larson versus Alex Bowman, it's mostly Alex Bowman beating him, which I find hilarious. Because this is like the second, third time Bowman had to battle against Kyle Larson, and he won the Pocono race, the Dover race, and today. So that's actually kind of funny. But Kyle Larson had a really good day, strong day. He started second, finishes second, so not really a big gain for him. But overall, I thought Larson had a pretty up and down day. He kind of fell under the bus a bit because he kind of lost a few spots at one point, and it was making his way throughout the field, but just only come up short and finish P2. So not a bad day overall for Kyle Larson. Just really wish he would get that final lap back against Alex Bowman. Finishing in third was Ross Chastain. What a day for Trackhouse, to be honest. You know, if you take away the Daniel Suarez wreck, what a just really good day for them. Because Chastain, he wins stage 2. Heck, that's the first stage win for Trackhouse Racing, which is really impressive. He started 18th, gets a nice third place finish. He was very close to winning this race. I really wish Chastain did win this race. But apparently from what they said on the broadcast, you know, Truex, he had a better car that was fit for when the track was cooling down. That's why it was cloudy. But Chastain had a really good car when it was bright and sunny outside. So he definitely had a car for a warm track. So really good day for Ross Chastain, just so close to getting his first career win. Because how fitting it would have been if Chastain would have won at Las Vegas, where he got his first career win in the Xfinity Series. So tough break for him, but overall I think for Chastain, he should be coming out of this race still happy on both ends, and just see what they can do going into Phoenix, because they did even say, Mike Joy even pointed out that him and Kyle Busch had a history when they were battling for the lead. Because if you go back to Phoenix a year ago, which is the track we're going to next week, he wrecked Kyle Busch, and Kyle Busch was not happy with him. And then you also go back to Atlanta, the second Atlanta race, he helped his teammate, or his former teammate, Kurt Busch, beat his brother Kyle. So yeah, those two definitely have a history, but he did get a better finish than Kyle Busch. So overall, really good day for Chastain and the one team. Finishing in fourth was Kyle Busch. What a weekend for Kyle Busch. First of all, in practice, Kyle Busch blows a tire and he backs into the wall in the middle of turns 3 and 4, and that car automatically could not be fixed. So they had to go to a backup car. Took 7 hours of work to get everything they needed from Kyle Busch's first car into the backup car and stuff. So what a good effort by him, and not only him, but the teams of the 11, the 19, and 20, just to get that car prepared so they could come and race. So hats off to JGR right there. But Kyle Busch, he had a pretty decent race. I didn't think Kyle Busch would do that well, but he started 37th, gets a 4th place finish, so Kyle Busch should be really happy and stuff. But he did have some tension with Chase Briscoe, I believe, coming to the end of stage 1. I don't know what that was about, but Briscoe didn't really do anything wrong, so I don't know. Kyle Busch just salty today, guys. But what a heartbreaker, though, for Kyle Busch. Leading with 3 to go, Eric Jones, Rex, and then that just changed everything. He took 4 tires, same thing with his teammate MTJ, and Hendrick just outplayed them. They outsmarted them, so that does suck overall for Kyle Busch. But hey, I'd be happy for Kyle Busch if you just having a comeback day overall. I know it would have been better if you got the win, but hey, I'd rather take a top 5 than, you know, not having a car to show up for the race. So good effort though by Kyle Busch and the 18 team. We'll see what they can do going into Phoenix. And rounding out the top 5 and 5th was William Byron, who I personally thought had the 3rd best 100 car out here today. He had a pretty strong race. He was pretty solid. He mostly had a really nice top 10, top 5 car. Would I say he had a race-winning car? Probably not. That's a bit of a stretch, but he did overall have a pretty good race. He started 14th, gets a nice solid 5th place finish, so good effort by them. Finally, they get their first top 5 of the season after wrecking out in the Daytona 500, wrecking out last week at Auto Club when they were having a really good race. And now they finally get a top 5 finish. So something finally goes the way for William Byron and the 24 team. So let's see if their luck can continue from this race going into the final race of the West Coast in Phoenix. And rounding up, finishing 6th was Eric Almarola. Eric Almarola has the most top 10s this season. Who expected this, guys? Who expected this? Last year, this man had the worst luck. He wrecked out in this race last year, and now he comes back to get a 6th place finish. I don't know what's been going on. It's just a lot of reverse things going on. Usually it's not Hamlin who should be having 3 top 10s, but not him. Heck, Hamlin has no top 10 finishes this season. His best finish was 15th at Auto Club last week, where he actually should have finished better. And then Almarola has 3 top 10 finishes, finished 5th in the 500, finished, I think he finished like 5th or 6th at Auto Club last week, and gets 6th today. I don't know what's going on. Almarola, he's just been able to be at the right place in the right time. He hasn't had the best car, but he just knows when to show up, because he was kind of struggling early in the race, but he was keeping a decent pace, but then out of nowhere just comes out and gets a nice 6th place finish. So a really good race for them after starting 20th in this race. So a good race for Eric Almarola. Finishing 7th was Tyler Reddick, another driver who had to come back from something. Tyler Reddick, he spun out, I believe, during stage 1. I'm not sure what happened. I think he just lost the car, spun out. And a lot of people were expecting him to have a good race because his race did not go off to a good start. He had to start at the back of the field for unapproved adjustments. Then he had that spin in turn 1. And then he was just able to fight his way back through, because in stage 2, stage 3, he was running pretty well in the top 10, top 15. And at the end of the day, gets a nice solid 7th place finish, where technically it's funny how he finishes in 7th, where that's the actual position he was supposed to start in today's race if he didn't have that penalty for unapproved adjustments. So that's kind of funny in my opinion, but a really good race overall for Tyler Reddick in the 8 team. Finally something good coming their way after an incident in the Daytona 500, an incident at Auto Club. So just like William Byron, finally some luck coming through in their way. Finishing in 8th was Triggs Jr., Triggs Jr. is probably one of the quietest ones out here today. He started 12th, I believe, and he was probably, the 2nd, 3rd best Toyota out here? I don't know. Maybe the least. I don't know. All the Toyotas were fast today, minus... Well, Bubba Wallace was kind of fast. He was kind of showing up late, but then he had that incident. Kurt Busch, he was also doing really good, which I did not expect. But still, Triggs had a really good race, in my opinion. He was running up in the top 10. He was hanging pretty strong with Kyle Busch and with Christopher Bell and with Denny Hamlin. He mostly just showed up late in the race because, like I said before, his car... He mostly had a car that would perform really well when the track was cooler and it got cloudy towards the end of the race, so that definitely pulled off for him. But then he had to battle against Ross Chastain, lost some time on Kyle Busch, had to chase down Kyle Busch, could not get past him, thought he had a few more opportunities with 3 to go, but then he had the caution come out. He took 4 tires as well, as long with Kyle Busch and Ross Chastain, and those 2 guys get top 5s. Triggs gets 8, so kind of sucks for Triggs Jr., but overall a decent race for the 19 team. Finishing in 9th, of course, number 9. A coincidence? I don't think so. That's out of focus, or I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, finishing 9th was Chase Elliott. He had a really good race. I wouldn't say really good, because Chase Elliott, of course, he comes off that incident with Kyle Larson from last week where Larson ran him into the wall by accident. Elliott was not happy, so of course tensions were high in Hendrick Motorsports, so I believe they're probably not seeing eye to eye right now, but just dang, what a bummer for Chase Elliott. He had the worst car for Hendrick Motorsports all day. He started off pretty slow. He lost a lot of spots. He started 5th, and he lost a ton of spots, fell all the way back to 12th within 10 laps. So I don't know what was going on. He said he wasn't comfortable with the car, so he was racing like pretty timid. Then he started to show up pretty late in the race, but then just was not enough and only got a 9th place finish. So still, all Hendrick cars get a top 10 finish, but 3 of them get top 5. So still not really the best for Chase Elliott after starting 5th, but I bet he'll take a top 10 better than what? A possible 15th place finish. So overall, a pretty okay race for Chase Elliott. And rounding out the top 10 and 10th was Christopher Bell. What a comeback for Christopher Bell as well. He spun out in the race along with Harrison Burton, and he had an issue with his tires and stuff, and he was like a lap down in like 31st, 30th or something, and somehow, someway gets to 10. So I don't know how the heck happened, because Bell started on pole and still gets the top 10 at the end of the day after having that tire issue. So I think it's a good comeback for Christopher Bell, but also kind of a bummer because he started on pole and he kind of expects himself to get better finishes. But if I'm Bell, I think taking a top 10 after a crazy day would be a nice, okay day for him. So decent race overall for Christopher Bell. And now to rate this race. For this race, I thought it was pretty decent. It had some dry portions of it at some points and stuff. It wasn't really the best racing. Like, would I say this race was better than Auto Club? Probably not, but this race still had its ups and had its downs and stuff, so I thought it was a really just solid race overall. So to end this race, my boy Alex Bowman getting the win. I'll give this race an 8 out of 10. It was a solid race, wasn't terrible, but at the same time, it's not the best racing we've seen. So really, some people were debating if we see like a really good race at Las Vegas, should we tear up Auto Club and stuff, but if we didn't really see as good of a race as Auto Club, then they shouldn't really turn into a short track, which I think I agree. So basically, at the end of the argument, I guess some people who said that Las Vegas wouldn't be as good as Auto Club are correct. So I think Auto Club should stay as its configuration for a few more years until the track is just due for repave, and then once it's due for repave, just turn it into a short track at that point, because we have a lot of intermediates. So at least keep 1 2-mile track, but I bet if we had to keep at least 1 2-mile track, a lot of people would pick Auto Club over Michigan. Ugh, God, Detroit, Motor City. Anyway, so I give this race an 8 out of 10. Let me know what you guys would give it in the comment section below. So right here are the 5 drivers that I thought had a good race. First off, starting off with Harrison Burton. Harrison Burton, he did spin out earlier in the race, and he also started 19th, but he got 16th, which is technically his best career Cup Series finish after being involved in 2 wrecks last week. Technically 3, but he did spin out, no contact with the wall, gets the 16th place finish. So I will say he had a good day. Haley, he's had a wreck, I believe, in every race. He had an incident in the Daytona 500 that gave him a 23rd place finish. He also had an issue at Auto Club, I believe, won the final 2 laps. That also got him a 23rd place finish. But today, he gets 17th, his best finish of the season in the 31 car, after coming back from that spin he had early in the race. So I'll say he had a good day. Kurt Busch in the 45. Kurt Busch, I thought, had a really good day. He started 31st, gets a 13th place finish. He was running in the top 10 and top 20 basically all day and stuff. So coming back and just getting a nice solid 13th place finish is really good for Kurt Busch after a sloppy start to the start of the season for 23XI Racing. LaJoie finishes 15th after starting 29th, so I'll say he had a good race. And finally, Ty Dillon, who started 32nd, gets a top 20 finish. Not his best finish of the season, but he gets a top 20 after starting pretty deep in the field. So those are the drivers who I thought had a good race. Alright, now here are the first 6 drivers that I thought had a bad race. Starting off with Joey Logano. Logano had a really good race. He definitely should have finished in the top 10 because he started 6, but at the end of the day, gets 14, so I'm not sure what happened to him. Austin Cindric, who started 3rd in this race, gets 19, so a disappointment for him. And their teammate Ryan Blaney was involved in a wreck after, I believe it was Brad Keselowski who spun out. So really, Team Penske had a very bad day. Their best finish was 14th today and stuff. Stenhouse, I thought he had a really good race. I thought he could have finished in the top 10, top 15, top 20, but this guy finishes 21st, so that's a bit of a disappointment, especially since Danica Patrick was in the booth. Anyway, moving on, Bubba Wallace finished 25th after being involved in that wreck with Eric Jones that we'll get to in a minute, which I actually want to say NASCAR should have called the caution after Jones immediately hit the wall. Like, after it hit the wall, 2 seconds later, they should have called the caution, but they didn't. They waited until he spun out, and then Bubba Wallace just had nowhere to go and stuff. So I think that was kind of not fair, and that was kind of BS on NASCAR's part. They also had some officiating problems in the truck race where Spencer Boyd, who was injured in his car, was just sitting there as others were racing. So NASCAR has not really been the best on calls this week. So this was probably their worst week with their calls and stuff. So kind of screwed Bubba Wallace, getting him a 25th place finish and hitting the inside tire barriers pretty hard. Next up, Eric Jones. He was the one who got loose after he was looking for a top 10 finish. He was going to finish in the top 10, got loose, made a mistake, hit the wall pretty hard, spun out, and finishes 31st. And then finally, Greg Biffle, who's supposed to represent the 40 car down there, he had a fuel pump issue. So out of the 2 races Greg Biffle has been in so far, he's had an incident where he just cannot finish the race. So definitely a disappointment for NY Racing. And now moving on to the final 6 drivers that I thought had a bad race. Starting off with Suarez, he had an incident. I believe it was Eric Jones who got loose, I think. Yeah, Jones got loose. He went up the track and then made McDowell get loose because McDowell was worried that he was going to get hit by Jones to avoid. And then he hit Briscoe, and then Briscoe just took out Suarez just not on purpose, just on accident, because it was just like a domino effect. So nothing Daniel Suarez could do. After his teammate had a really good day, he did not. He's the short end of the stick. Blaney, he had an accident. Like I said, Brad Keselowski spun out and stuff. And that's what the third incident Brad Keselowski's been in this season. So that's just not really good looking on RFK so far. And Blaney, just innocent bystander, nowhere to go, gets 36. Denny Hamlin finishes 32nd after having a drivetrain issue, meaning that he messed up when he was trying to shift the car when going back out onto the track after the pit stops, and he was having a really good day. Could have had his first top 10 finish of the day, but no, as of now, his best finish is 15th. So not a good start to the season for Denny Hamlin in the 11th. Then the 41 Cole Custer had an engine issue. He was stopped on the front stretch of the track before one of the restarts. He gets 33rd. Briscoe, like I said, he spun out along with Austin Cindric during the race, so Chase Briscoe finishes 35th. Then Brad Keselowski, like I said, he spun out and stuff, and at the end of the day, Brad Keselowski gets 24th, so not a good day for him as well. And those are all the drivers that I thought had a bad race. And that will do it for today's video. So guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. The next video should be the Phoenix review and stuff. I should be uploading some other stuff I have planned on, so don't worry, watch out for that. But I'm not sure how I'm going to do the Phoenix review because I will be out in Vegas next weekend, so I'll probably have to make the review on Tuesday. So most likely, guys, the review for the Phoenix race won't come out till Tuesday, so sorry about that. I'm very sorry about that, so just have to wait until then. But overall, a really good race in my opinion. I enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Please make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Check out my Instagram link in the description. Check out my gaming channel link in the description. Should be uploading a video there probably Monday, tomorrow, or Wednesday, so just have to wait and make sure. But anyway, that's gonna do it for today. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your day. This is NASCAR Mobile 48. Peace out. Also, my boy Alex Bowman got that win!